Welcome to Phoenix in the Arkham Menard series. We're here today, my first and only attempt in this race, starting to qualify, cutting deep down into the dog leg, setting up for 1 and 2, gonna take a nice wide entry, try and wrap the bottom, slowly feed the throttle in off of the exit, try not to get the car too loose, all the way out, up against the wall, get on the brakes for 3 and 4. We're again going to wrap the bottom, try and get the car pointed and accelerate hard out, and use the banking. This lap puts us P4 for the race. And this race start was a complete mess. The leader's all the way up high, green flag flies, and I'm immediately going to drop down into the dog leg and send it 3 wide into turn 1. Everybody on the brakes. I able to get just a bit further out than everybody else, and all hell breaks loose out back. Bunch of cars wrecking, 23 spinning to the inside into the wall, and we're just gonna run away. I'm going to get the hell out of Dodge, get the lead onto lap 2, leading the first lap from 4th position on the grid. Now we're gonna go into the onboard here just to show how ridiculous this was. Green flag flies. You can see the leader all the way up in the distance to the right did not pace correctly, but we're going to drop all the way down to the bottom of the dogleg, which is legal on this layout. And you're going to see the rear view here, all the way to the bottom. Everybody's fanning out behind. A lot of slow movers, but then it's just going to kick off behind. 7 car gets turned in the fence. The 23 is just going to lose it, gives it too much throttle, spins and hits the pit wall. And here's that original wreck that you saw way in the background earlier. Notice the 7 Napa car up here is just going to drive into the back of the leader, and just everything flies apart into the wall, hit by 2 cars, and he's just going to tow. He's done with it immediately. Didn't even make it 1 turn. The 23 clips another car backing into traffic, and the 10 narrowly avoids getting clipped by a bad rejoin. But back into it, we are in the lead. We've pulled about a half a second gap to the Link ECU Ford behind. He's getting hounded by the 15, and the 15 will be the only car that's going to challenge us at all this race. But it's not going to be for a minute. For now, we're just logging laps, trying to drive as far away as possibly we can. Cut a bit further ahead, and this is what I was talking about on the qualifying lap. The cars slide out so much on the exit of turn 2. You have to be so careful feeding the throttle in as to not make the rear end kick out too far. You either slap the wall or spin out, and either way, not a fun time. But the 15 is slowly starting to close just a little bit. He's hanging real tough with us here. You see we're going to slide out just a little bit further. I like to get to the gas about the middle of the corner and just ride it out. The 15 actually smacks the wall there because he got loose and wasn't able to correct it in time. 3 and 4, you're able to get a lot stabler of an exit because there's much higher banking. And going on board with the 15 here, you're going to see just how loose this car is. He's sliding all the way out, has to jump all the way out of the gas, which you don't want to do here. Very loose on entry to 3, manages to get it down, and he's still sliding a little bit out of 4. There's a lapper spinning to the bottom on the side there. And this is my onboard. As we're going to see, you want to wrap the bottom and slowly feed the throttle in, and kind of control the slide all the way out. And that's kind of where I would say, if you want to drive stock cars in higher elo lobbies, definitely run some dirt races, because that'll teach you how to ride out some of these slides and keep better control of your car and be more confident with a loose condition. Now, out here, you see the 15 still hanging tough with us, kind of chasing us down. He's slightly better on the brakes, but he's so loose into 1 that he just can't get the drive off and can't match us on corner exit. And usually, in most cases, you want to run as fast as possible and get away, but this is a long, well, I say long, it's only about 40 laps, but you don't get any extra tire sets in these cars, so you need to make everything last. So I'm not cutting the dog leg. I'm not going all out every lap. I'm just saving my stuff, trying to get to the end. This incident was probably the first sign of adversity we really had that I ran into. The 10 just kind of comes off the wall, dumps the 12, right hooks him. Week-long suspension in pretty much any actual NASCAR series. He's going to sit here for a minute. You're going to see me in the 15 zip by, but then he just accelerates into traffic, and the poor Cletus car gets completely destroyed, nearly flips over the pit wall. Horrible lick, and just destroys the vehicle. Completely airborne into the wall. We're gonna sneak by. And then further back, this caused another problem. This was the other major wreck of the race. The 4 spins hard into the inside wall off of 4, which is why I keep stressing car control out of 1 and 2. The 23 is going to have to take evasive action, and then he spins again. The 9 just pile drives him, and I have to swerve out of the way because I see him rolling up track. From focus on my car, you see the 18 moves up, and I have to move up out of the way because my line's compromised and I slide. Now the 15 is directly on top of me to my outside going into this lap, and we are door to door all the way running into turn 1 on the brakes. He's going high. I'm trying to wrap the bottom as much as I can, get the nose pointed, and drive out of the corner, get the best run I can. I can't go all the way out, so avoiding to hit him. He's all the way pressed up against the wall. I'm going to try and hang on his corner, get a little side draft. We both go in the corner. He runs way high, slides his tire a little bit. I'm going to duck onto the apron, coming back to the line again. We'll lead that lap and clear him into 1 and back into rank and file running order. He's going to try and lower the exit, but he slides wide, can't really get the power down, and we fall right back into the same positions. And it's going to stay this way all the way until the end of the race. Because unfortunately, even though this was shaping up to be a good fight, the 15 just burns his stuff up, and he's not able to get back to us. And it was about at this time that I just go completely into flow state. We are just driving away. I'm logging laps. I'm hitting every single mark I need to. Just, the car feels so good. It's planted. It's very stable. I'm not having any major grip changes. Nothing wrong with pretty much anything. And I'm just able to cruise and not have a single issue with any major systems all the way to the checkered. And this is part of the reason why I like Phoenix. It's so skill sensitive, but it's still somehow one of the easier intermediate tracks that is run on the schedule. We're going to come up on the 23 here. We saw this guy earlier spin into the pit wall on lap 1. He's now a lap down, and we're just going to quickly duck to the outside and try and set up a pass into 1 and 2. Swing below him, get the power down, drive off. We're going to be door to door with him, which is a bit of a problem because the 15's still only about a second back, but he's going to drive into the wall, lose his momentum, slide a tire. You see him up there in the top right, sliding out of the way. And we're again going to duck down to the apron so I can cut that track clearance, get in front of him, and now we have the 10 to deal with, who is going to do the same thing the 23 did a lap before. The 3 spins on the bottom, but the 10 just goes way up high and cuts down low, trying not to spin off of the wall. I'm going to quickly cut in front of him and clear down to the bottom again and just rip all the way up to the fence and get back into my rhythm. And then the last lap car we needed to clear was the 22. Severe damage, not really of any note. The 23 hard blocking the 15 as the 22 just drives into the pit wall. I'm not sure why he did that. But on board with the 15, just all manner of miscommunication with the lapper trying to get around him. But here we are. The last lap car we need to pass, the 11. I almost punted him. That was not intentional, but we're coming to 2 to go, and I'm just going to pace. I'm not going to try to get past him super hard. I'm not going to blow my shit up. trying to go for a pass. I'm just going to settle in. I know I'm faster. Keep the car underneath it. Keep the car underneath me, and we'll get him eventually. We're going to do that right here into turn 3. Deep on the brakes, wrap the bottom, clear, and onto the final lap. White flag in the air. We have led every single lap up to this point. And I've made single-digit starts in this ARCA car, mainly on road courses and super speedways, but I've never really meshed with an intermediate like I have at Phoenix. And despite that, I'm going to lead every single lap, complete dominating fashion, run it to the line, and that's a win. First ARCA win. Starting in P4, finishing in P1, leading every single lap on the way to a win. Now, the other race I wanted to cover was the previous week, recorded before the Phoenix race. This is C-Fixed Trucks at Atlanta, or Echo Park Speedway if you want to be pedantic. I don't really care. The track's not even in Atlanta to begin with, but I am a boomer in this sense. I will call it Atlanta. Super Speedway qualifying is... well, it's super speedway qualifying. There's not really much to it. You hold it on the bottom, make sure you don't bounce your splitter off of the apron, run to the line, get a little bit of a corner cut across. That lap's going to put us on pole. And we're going to start P1 here. But it's not going to be quite the ass kicking as it was in Phoenix. We're not going to go faster this lap, but I still wanted to show the entire qualifying session because Atlanta's a little unique in plate tracks because it's a much more handling focus. The turns are tighter, the straightaways are shorter. You have to put a lot more wheel into these cars to get them around turns, and it's a lot more unsettling. Now, rolling to the green flag here, we're in the 10 truck, an original paint scheme this time. Green flag flies. And you'll immediately notice the top lane is completely stacked up and ready to push. The bottom lane is not. And everyone is just fanned out. And this is going to be a theme the entire race, is just how completely disorganized this field is. We're going to get away pretty clean. All the way around the bottom, onto the back straightaway. And the field is fanning out behind us. The bottom lane is starting to gather. They're going to stack energy in about a lap here or so. But we're not going to actually see any of that because we come out of turn 4, finish this lap, but we're not going to get to the exit of turn 2. You see they're already fanning out and absolutely scrambling for position behind, but we're pretty much going to get, into turn 2. The caution's going to fly for an incident behind. It was a 2-car spin. I'm not going to cover it. Restart, P1, insane jump. And this is what you really don't get anywhere besides bottom split, is just how much of an advantage the leader has on restarts. Because you go anywhere in the restart zone, and unless the guy beside you has insane reaction times, there's never going to be an even jump on a restart. We're clear all the way out into the lead. They're not even going to get to my bumper until the exit of turn 4 at the next lap. The 3 is tucked up right behind me, and there's a massive train of cars all running up, and there's going to be a massive wreck behind. 4 cars collected, 2 in the outside wall, and we're back under yellow. Next restart, same story. Jumping out way into the lead. The 3 is going to get a decent launch on the outside with a bump from the 5. But this black truck, whose number I can't quite make out, is going to side draft the 5. And that's going to severely delay them from getting back to me. The bottom lane's starting to stack up again. And you see they're fanning out. They're trying to get in line. Black truck's going to try and dive up to the top and create the top lane in the Skull truck. But they are stacked hard behind me, cutting a bit further ahead in the lap, and I almost get dumped by the Skull truck. I'm able to hold on to it, but I'm going to relinquish the lead off of that. The 3 is going to drive around me, and I'm going to have the 5 freight training to the outside with the 14 pushing him. I can't really do a damn thing about this. I don't have any help on the bottom, so I'm just stuck here. The 5 is going to drop it out in front of me, and I'm going to slot in back into P3. The Miller High Life truck behind slides a bit high, and we're almost 3 wide here on the back straightaway. They think better of it, fall back 2 wide, but now I'm on the bottom, and I'm going to fall into P2 behind the 5 truck, the Chili's truck, and it's just going to stay like this for a long, long time. This was an extremely long green flag run, and we actually never got another caution. Just lap after lap after lap in this formation, and nothing really of note happens. We get a massive disconnect here. At some point, there's a scramble for position, but nothing really comes of it. And the only thing that really happens is that that pack behind loses the front draft, and now they're just trying to chase us down. So it's 4 trucks, the 5, the 10 of myself, and 2 more behind. And this has basically been my POV for lap 10 through 30-ish. Just 20 laps of following the 5, being patient, rolling around, because when you're play racing, you never want to be out front for too long. A block going wrong can completely blow up your entire race and everybody else's race for that matter. I'm more than content to just fall in line, follow the leader around, stay out of trouble, and not tear anything up. It's also a nice way to keep the car, even though you're in dirty air, you don't have to push as hard. You lift, you save a bit of fuel. You're just basically measuring the guy in front. You don't need to do anything crazy. You're just playing Pied Piper and trying to get to the end and keep your car from getting torn up. As you're going to see here, there's a big disconnect. They're just falling apart, to be completely honest. The 19 has come back from nowhere. He was all the way at the back of this pack initially. And he's going to play a big role in the finish in that Black Rifle coffee truck. He's going to trail me. He's going to start pulling up to my bumper here. He's going to go high here for a second. He's going to look up top, but nothing's going to come of it. He doesn't have any help. He's still going to stay up high, trying to form a lane up top. He's actually going to get alongside for just a little bit, but nothing's going to come of it. He's actually going to lose positions, fall back into P5, and the freight train continues. The 19 is just going to keep going for moves, but nothing comes of it. And even though they're all over the place, this entire pack just stays pretty much identical here. Now, the only other thing of note that's going to happen here is that we're going to roll up on a lapper, and he's not going to affect the race much, but he is going to line this row back up, and it's going to start this kind of dash to the finish, because there's only about 5-ish laps left here, and this is going to basically lead into a massive kickoff of events. So we're coming around here, and I'm going to get shuffled out of line at some point here, right here. The 19 goes high. I'm stuck down low. I'm still chasing the 5 at this point. But there's 2 trucks out back. And they're going to set up. They're going to see he's hanging back a little bit here. He's going to get a massive run down the backstretch. He's going to go up high. Or no, he's going to stay low. And we're going to freight train the bottom. But this is not going to stay this way for very long. Coming down to the front straightaway, or the quad oval rather, I'm going to go a bit high chasing the 5, but he's going to sell me a dummy. Goes back low, catches the run. The 18 and the 19 both trying to stay in line, but the 18 gets shipped, and I am now running down the 5. The 18 is going to drop back. He's going to lose the draft. He's not going to be of any consequence in this finish. And the 19 is going to start to suck up. I'm going to go high here against the 5. And we're going to be door-to-door here. And now the 19's on the back. He's on the bottom. Going to push the 5. And I'm going to get completely shuffled out of line here, even though this truck in the back is looking to go high. He's just going to stay low. and the 20 is going to fall in line, and they're basically going to freight train and try and leave me behind. The 11's just kind of hanging back and witnessing all of this. However, all of this is about to go straight to hell in about a lap or so. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute, but I am just going to go up high. I'm going to let the 20 by, and I'm going to fall in line and try and shove him through. Coming by 2 more laps, and then we're getting to the 2 to go mark here in a little bit. We're staying in line basically like this. The 11's still a lap down. He is not involved in this, and this is where everything blows up pretty much. We're coming into turn 1. The 19's all over the 5, and he's going to punt him into T1. Same thing that happened to the 18 truck. He's going to fall back. The 20 and the 19 are all over each other. The 20 gets forced below the line. I'm going to shove the 19 all the way out to the lead. The 20 almost kills the lap truck behind us, and I'm going to stick it all the way around the outside, side draft the 19 through the corner, and sling it through the corner, coming to the white flag, and we have the lead. We have just barely snookered it. The 20 is going to come and hang on the outside of the 19. That's going to create a side draft and drag them both back, and I'm now home free. I'm running away from these two. The 11 isn't trying to push because he's a lap down and doesn't want to ruin safety rating, I would presume. But these two trucks are just going to come side by side behind me, but they're not going to be able to catch me. They're too busy fighting, and we are going to rip away and steal a win at Atlanta. What a race, and I cannot believe I won this. But that's it. That's the end. I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope to see you again next time.